Another day done. Short week this week as well. Got the bank holiday Friday, so one more day tomorrow. Which would be lovely. 3-day weekend. Yes. 3 days. It's what to do with my 3 days. I've got bits to do on every single bike. Some of it necessary, some of it just for the fun of it. Well, I'll say just for the fun of it. It's not necessary, but it'd be good to get done. Like the rear view camera on the Gixxer project. Be nice to have some rear view on there if it works properly, but I'm not going to find out if I don't ever put it on there. GS, I want to find out whether it is actually electronic ignition or not. Oh, the oil change. I checked the sump and the oil filter, what's it called? Oil filter cap. No. The front bit that comes off with 3 bolts. Cover, that'll do. Oil filter cover, check that. There's no oil coming out of that. There's no oil on the sump itself, and there's none congregated on the sump plug. So, I might have cured a leak. So that's good news, isn't it? That is good news. Well done me. Well, it's early days, but yeah, I checked it halfway through the day, wandered down and had a look at the bike, had a look underneath, and there are no drips or nothing, so that is a result. I think it's a result. It's just going to force the oil out more everywhere else. So the leaks on the head might get worse. Are they leaks? They're not big enough to be called leaks, are they? Probably spring onions. So yeah, I was quite chuffed about that. It's always good when you improve. I couldn't say that the bike itself is performing any better or any worse with the new oil in it, even though it was Castrol Power 1 with accelerants in it. But it started fine this morning, and I'm catching up with cars and overtaking cars, so it's not doing too bad. Not for an old lag. He started to have a play and then gave up. It's all sort of tickety-boo. I've done all the work at work. So, well, I haven't done all the work, but I've fragmentised all the scrap that was in the yard. So that gives me probably a couple of days to wander around the machine, greasing it and making sure everything's all right. So it's quite a leisurely couple of days now. Well, I say couple of days. This afternoon was leisurely, and tomorrow will be leisurely. Both in glorious sunshine, which is always a bonus. So I'm quite chuffed. Everything's quite good, I think. Yeah, it is. It is. Had a bit of a quandary in the shed last night. I've got so many little bits that I want to get done. Make the effort. Excellent. And I couldn't quite decide on which one to do first, so I sort of did a bit of the GS1000 cowl, and then put the seat pins in this here vehicle, because all that was holding it on was one of the pins without the split pin in it, so that was destined to fall out any time, and cable ties. But now it's got brand new pins in it. Another marvellous achievement. As I say, I had so many little bits to get on and do, I just couldn't make my mind up, so I was dithering about for quite a while, and then decided to do the pins. Look at that. That's how glorious it was this morning, but not this warm. We got to be up to, oh no, 16. I'm going 16 degrees. And this morning it was probably down around the 12. Yes, very nice. Get back home, sit on my decking, and enjoy a beer at the end of a gruesome toil at work. There you go, that's you up to date. We're still on lockdown. It's, what date is it today? 5th of May, something like that. And we're still on lockdown. We might hear tomorrow that they're gonna start putting people back to work and start easing the lockdown, but at the moment it's still full lockdown. You wouldn't guess it, there's a lot more traffic on the road now, and a lot more motorbikes having fun at the weekend, which makes me very jealous and make me think I should go and do the same, but that would be naughty. So I'll just stick to my commuting. The other thing I've been looking at doing is sinking the carbs to make sure they're synced, and then perhaps having a play with the fuel air, because there are times when it sort of bogs down, and sometimes there's hesitancy there. So I don't know whether that's too rich or too lean, so I want to sort of have a look at that. And I've been watching a few videos and everyone makes it look so easy. Then I had a word with well, not mine, the mechanic at work who's got an old Norton, and he was saying make sure everything else is alright first, such as your timing and your valve clearances, and make sure everything like that is on point. And I said, yeah, I think it is points. Now you say point. And he went, yeah, first thing you want to do is get electronic ignition on there, because they will be a pain in the arse. And I did a bit of further research, and it might be, I don't know for sure, I am making this up as I go along, it might be that these late 70s bikes did start coming out with electronic ignition, but I think they used to call it transistor ignition or transistorized ignition or something. So that's something to research. But yeah, I want to have a play and see if I can sort stuff out. Ready for if I go for a 4-into-1. I've seen some Vance Hines ones that are very nice. Exhaust pipes. And then, according to Vance Hines' website, you've got to put bigger jets on it, put bigger main jets on it. So, as I say, if I can get into trying to learn, stop going for 6, trying to learn about synchronising the carbs and all everything, and be a bit more confident with that, because it frightens the shit out of me. Then I'd feel a bit better about sticking bigger needles and stuff in there. Needles? Jets, that's the one. I hate that terminology, just screws with your head. Yeah, he wants bigger pilot jets. So yeah, that's sort of future plans. Mullings while I travel to and fro on my commute. But yes, long time in the future probably. As I say, if I have got the point system still on the bike, then I'll probably go for, everyone's recommending the Dyna S electronic ignition, and to get that and the coils, because again a lot of people are saying if you're going for the ignition, get the coils as well, get the full set. It's somewhere in the region of sort of 200 to 300 quid, depending on, you're not turning right. Are you turning right? I don't think you're turning, I think you're going straight on, so it's a bit deceiving. Is that to stop me filtering past you? Is it? Or are you going right round to go? No, you're not. So you weren't. I was right. I was right. Let's do him there instead. And this one here will probably want both lanes. Yeah, so that's something else I've got to research. But yes, I'm sure I'll let you know as and when it all happens. But at the moment it's just all talk and a bit of research. Anyway, that's enough, innit? Ta-ra.